Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 7 of the Common Woman Podcast.
Yay! Thank you for chiming in on the clap. We needed that.
Yes, we needed that. We just
needed
can't get it together with that hand clapping app situation.
No.
So we say it every episode.
Epic fail.
We are so excited today because we are joined by our wonderful friend Weslyn, who is also our coworker.
Yay.
Thank you for being here, Weslyn. As you know, I am your host, Cortnie, and I'm joined by my beautiful bestie,
Melissa.
She got her boobs out today. Ow.
Ooh.
She's showing off the
I don't really have any, but I got the bralette out. I have the bralette out.
It's pretty though. It looks
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Well, how
Thank
you pointing
you.
out boobs and mine are sticking out?
I know. I had to like fix your mic because you both keep pushing it out.
To that area.
I heard they're very comfortable to lay on.
I don't know who said that.
I don't know who said it either. I'm not going to put them on blast. But we're also joined with Babe off camera if you're watching us on YouTube. Hey, Babe.
What's going on?
So we just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been riding with us from the beginning,
Yes.
listening on all the streaming platforms. Anyone who's been watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for still being here with the shenanigans.
Comments,
and chiming
likes.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of comments. We've been getting emails, especially from Delilah. Thank you so much for all the emails that you send us. We really love to read all the stories you have, the
She
suggestions.
gives the best emails. Too.
Oh my God. We love it so much. So if anybody out there wants to send us an email, just know that you can, and we will read them at thecommonwomanpodcast@gmail.com. So today our topic is friendships. Yeah. We were a little nervous coming into this topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Because
it's a big one.
It is. And it's like, a lot of our friends watch the show. So we have to be very careful about which friendships we talk about. We don't want to offend anyone or, make anyone feel away. Like, we're not here gossiping.
On Monday.
Imagine.
Like, I'm not rocking with you no more.
It's like you need a disclaimer.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him before the show. I was
surprised.
like, I'm going to do a little disclaimer. Like, look,
Don't punk
we're
out.
not trying
Don't
to
punk out.
gossip about anybody. We're just talking.
Don't punk out.
Gossiping.
Just don't be surprised if you find a shit bag on your desk.
When you come up with the stuff.
Be like, mother.
It's too much. But we did a poll on the Common Woman Podcast IG page asking what is most important to you in a friendship. And there was a trend here. A lot of people said not a lot of people said. One person said keeping in touch, honesty, loyalty. Tom said Courtney and Melissa, of course. Honesty, trust, honesty and support, sense of humor, and love of wine. Yes, Teresa. support, and honesty. So it looks like support, honesty,
And
trust are like the main themes.
Yeah.
But those are big ones, though.
They
Those are important.
You know what's funny? I feel like it's kind of similar to a relationship, like a romantic relationship. Like you want those same things in a romantic relationship.
It is. And but it's harder because we're emotional as hell.
Yeah.
So we're super sensitive to everything.
Oh God.
But it's so easy to hurt a friend's feelings.
Yo, I was talking to, I almost did it. I was talking to Babe before the show. I always almost call him by his name, but he's Babe.
Why you throwing my secret identity out there?
So we were talking about that, how like it's so different for men and women, like the male friendships than the girl friendships, because it's like we're so, like you said, emotional.
We are. So honesty sometimes is hard. Or giving your full honest opinion about situations.
But you know what? That is what I love about you so much, because you are one of the most honest people. Like if you talk about somebody behind their back, like you will say it to their face. Like,
but honesty though isn't necessarily about something bad.
Right.
Honesty could definitely be something good, and it's not that, I'm pointing out all your downside or your flaws. It's really well, it could just be, well, you know, from this perspective or whatever.
People
you know?
take it. Some people
are
take
sensitive
it.
though.
Yeah.
And you're really good at that too, Weslyn.
Terrible.
If you ever want to get an honest answer, you go to Weslyn. She will tell you like it is. I love it.
Don't go when you're in your feelings.
No. That's not true.
I've seen that be a fail with you.
I was gonna. I think I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, you do.
Basic.
I mean, they're not there anymore, so we can talk about it.
So it's clear. Go on.
Listen, no, my thing is, I know how to sugarcoat it. But if you're going to come to me with nonsense, you're going to get nonsense back. You're going to get straightforward. You know, like, don't come to me with, you're coming to the wrong person to, you know, like, stroke your ego. And
I'm not good at that either. I used to be good at that. I can't do it anymore. I can't do
I don't
it
have the
anymore.
patience.
I don't have the patience
Yeah.
either.
I feel like at this stage in life, especially like most of the people I know or I'm friends with are in similar, you know, stages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, can we grow up already? You know, like I'm not trying to. We're not 21. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
I feel like if you're coming to me for an honest response, you're gonna get an honest response. So,
But you know what? I feel like a real, true friend will appreciate that quality in you and be like, all right, thank you. Like, I know that you're going to give me the real. You know, like, why would you lie? Like, it's not going to help me if you just, like, sugarcoat it or tell me what I want to hear versus
especially
what I
because
need to hear.
I don't want you to go on the street looking crazy. You know,
Yeah.
like
Thank you. You know, thank you.
to some people, I'm like, where are your friends?
Yeah.
Do you not have friends?
Are you surrounded by blind people or something?
Literally, he says that all the time. How you gonna let me go out looking like this?
That's my first thing. Do you not have friends? You know, so if you're coming to me, whether it's something we wear or something, maybe an action you're gonna get into, and not necessarily relationship like with another man, but maybe it's something about a career or whatever the case is. At least get this side of things so that you can be, you know, open-minded and make an informed decision.
Yes, an informed decision, Weslyn. That's what I'm talking about. Well, for me, I said what is important to me in a friendship is support, consideration, understanding, empathy, and vulnerability. Because you know what? We talk about this a lot, Mel. I don't like it when someone is not like open with me. I understand.
I don't like that either.
I understand that people are different in how they share their emotions, but like me and her are very like, we're oversharers. We like to
Open
talk about feelings and, you know, just being real, like being real, talking about how you feel about something. If you're going through something like, I'm not feeling this, like I'm going through this or whatever, you know, I'm upset about this, or just sharing something.
I don't like people that are very much in my business and want to be a part of it, but then you share nothing.
Yeah.
But some people are not good communicators. I think you're not a sharer because you don't know how to communicate it.
There's a certain type of emotional maturity that you have to have in order to really be able to be vulnerable with someone, I feel like. And not everybody's there. And that's not to say that that's a bad thing. It's just everyone's in different levels. So for me, for my friends, it's hard for me. Like, I feel like I can't connect with you if I can't share like equally. Well, it doesn't have to be equal, but I want to be able to share something, you know, like
it should be equal. I'm not here for anything else. I'm not here for it. Because as soon as you give me a certain energy, I'm going to give it right back.
You know what? You're right.
But I feel like
that's just where I'm at right now.
But I feel like for me, for example, I have friends for different things. You know, like I have friends that I'm more open with than others.
That's very true.
I wouldn't say that we're necessarily I'm less friendly with someone or I'm less close. I just know if I want to talk to about certain things, I speak to this friend. If I want to talk about certain things, I can speak to this friend. But I don't.
So you don't feel like you're not as close to the friends that you can't really share things with? Because I feel like it's harder to really get to know someone when you don't really know them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just know them surface, I feel like it's harder to really build that kind of a connection with a friend.
Not for me. I think that I'm okay with what you're able to give me. You know, just as long as you know that if you need me, I'm there. You know, and there's some people who are just not
That's
that
how
person.
that's how one of my girlfriends
You know,
feels.
so if
But
you
that's
accept
because
as
you
they
have
are.
other people that do give you what you
Right,
need too.
so-
So it's okay. You have other people that give you other things.
and maybe that's what it is, because you know, as I said, I have different people I talk to about different things, and not that it's secret from anyone. It's just simply I already know that maybe this person can connect a little better, or you know, so but I don't necessarily feel that we're not as tight because you don't tell me something or I don't tell you something. At least I hope they think that.
I guess you're right on that, because I do have friends who don't really share much, and I feel like I'm close to them, but I think it's because I share a lot with them. So I don't know.
But I also think too, it depends on, like, if I sense that you're going through something and you don't want to share, then that might make me feel like, well, if you can't talk to me about it, then what's the point, you know?
I feel the same
And
way.
if you're going to pull back because you're going through something and you just want to stay in this dark circle, then what's the point, you know?
I can't do that. I have a very hard time with that, and I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I cannot. I guess maybe it's because of the way I am and what I want to be. Like, I want to be a therapist, so it's hard for me to see someone spiraling or in a dark place or struggling in some area, and like I just am there. Like, I'm here. Like, if you need me, I'm here. But if they're not ready for that, or if they don't want that, like, I struggle with that. And I don't know if I almost take it personally, but I have to remember that everyone has their own process, and everybody has to come to a place of vulnerability on their own. Like, you can't force someone into being vulnerable with you. And it's so hard for me. Like, I've gotten better, I think, with it. But when I was younger, I used to be horrible. Like, I would sense things off of people and I would ask over and over and over to the point of being annoying, and people would be like, okay, just leave me alone. I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong. And I'm like, no, I know there's something wrong. You're not being yourself. What's wrong? And nobody likes that, you know?
Right. And for
just
me,
leave me alone. Let me process on my own, and I'll come to you if I need you. But
right. And for some people though, it might take years for you to say, remember that time when, you know, because they haven't quite accepted it yet. Because how can you express it if you're not sure what's going on, you know? Like, how can you even come forward and say, hey, Melissa, I want to talk to you about this, or, you know, but you haven't even accepted or processed or dealt with, you know?
That's very true. Or they may never come to you.
It's easier for us to see it than the person that's actually in it. And
yeah, because they don't
that's
recognize
something to remember.
That's
That's kind of checking me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm quick, so I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. I'll let you know I'm here, but I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm not gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? But
and that's another
they
thing
might
I
not even
with.
see how bad a situation is. Because, you know, when you're in it, it's just a whole different
you have a
experience.
different set of glasses on.
And then sometimes some people too, you see them
realizing things.
The common room is a therapy room, man.
Yeah. It gets me every time.
Me too.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Well, maybe you'll think of it while I'm saying this, but I struggle with that, like not knowing when to pull back and when to be available, because it's like I don't want to pull away at a point where you need me the most, but I also don't want to be too in your face and overwhelm you with my willingness to be there for you. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard. It's hard because I feel like if you're like really a close friend of mine, I'll give you as much as I can, but then I have to pull away because I suffer with you. I become obsessed with your life and your situation. That's not okay. I have to come first. So I've realized that I have to make myself available, but I have to pull away. Depending on the situation, but if it's toxic like that, I have to pull away because I cannot handle it.
I just learned that like last year.
I think that's important. You always have to be, you got to look up for, it's as greedy as it sounds, you got to look up for number one.
Yeah.
You can't be of any use to anyone else if you're a hot mess.
Agreed. And I just learned that.
Me too.
I just learned that.
And then in that context, it's really not selfish because like you said, you have to be able to like take care of yourself in order to be there for someone else. You can't spiral down with them.
Yeah, because when are you going to be available for them, you know, because at some point they may come to you, and if you're not able to emotionally help them, then what's the
Yeah,
point?
and I felt like
You're
I
like
was
crippled.
I felt like I was being a bad friend for even thinking like that. But then I was like, you know what? No,
Yeah.
no.
You got to be honest with your own feelings.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So I mentioned before Delilah, she emails us. She had emailed us, know your friends. Don't put unrealistic expectations on them and pull your own weight. If you start a business, don't expect your friends to be your salespeople. I don't like sales, and it does not mean I don't like you or I'm not your friend if I don't come to your Mary Kay party again.
Mary Kay, though.
I think it's still around. I think it's still around.
Don't y'all get that Cadillac when you sell like $1 billion?
I saw one.
I've never seen one of them Cadillacs.
Yeah,
Really?
It's
still around.
Yeah, I saw it.
You get an
I saw it.
Escalade.
Probably
What is
like
that,
a
like
year
2
ago.
people that do it? Like that get to that
Bah,
status?
I
Like,
don't know. That's a serious hustle though. If you get a Cadillac out
it
of
is.
Yo,
I tried to be in
not
one
for
of those
nothing. I'd
pyramid
probably take
scheme
it
type
though.
places.
I just get it spray painted.
Mary Kay again.
I know. I love it. She put like ... again. I love it. Thanks,
You better go to the Mary Kay party.
I don't know. I mean,
By the way, this show is not sponsored by Mary Kay because there's a lot of pink on the show right now.
no, we're like peachy. Peachies. So yeah, she brought up a good point about putting unrealistic expectations on people.
I do that.
Yeah, I do too.
I do that.
I kind of expect what I mean, I can't expect what I give, but I expect like, you know.
I expect what I give, and then I'm mad when I don't get it. I realize that. And Sylvia has to check me constantly. Like,
yeah, but
you can't expect, you can't expect people to act the way that you do or the way that you want them to.
But what do you mean? Like, act
like
like how?
I don't know, just whatever it is. Like, if I'm super supportive about things that you're doing in your life and you're not as supportive towards me, I'm mad.
But see,
I'll distance
agree
quick.
with that.
I'll just distance quick.
I agree with that. I think that's very important. Because what is the reason why you're not supportive? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Why can't you be supportive?
Right.
Well, I think with the support portion of it, you can be supportive, but as that text said, it's different ways. You know your friend,
Right,
so
right.
maybe an idea of support is bouncing off ideas off of me, or getting, it may not necessarily be showing up to the Mary Kay party. It
Right.
might just be, hey, maybe, what about just printing a flyer, something to that effect. But
Yeah.
I definitely agree that you should support your friends. I might not be able to buy your latest book or, your latest product, but
Support me in the best way you know
the
how.
best way you know how. And no one wants someone that's not supportive. You're just like, I look at you 10 times like, what?
Yeah, because if you don't ask me
now.
about it, if you don't like comment, if you don't like encourage, like that's all a part of support to me.
I agree.
So it's like you said, it doesn't matter like in what way you're supporting, as long as you're showing some type of support, some type of interest in what I'm doing, because there definitely are. I've had situations where a friend was not even like remotely interested or said any word of encouragement. And it's like, it's really hurtful when that happens, when you constantly are doing it for someone else, no matter what's going on in your life.
But what I find is and this goes back to what you said, I deal with you how you deal with me.
Right.
So because now you're not supportive of anything I do, guess what? I'm not supportive of you
That's
either,
my new wave.
So that's how you deal with me is what you get back.
Reciprocation.
Reciprocation.
The new wave.
It's the reciprocal.
Yeah, but
what
why
it is.
deal with that dead weight? Just get rid of that.
You are good for that.
Yo, black and white.
Cut it.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't cut as many people as I should, but I also don't, deal with you the same way.
Yeah. The distance is there.
The distance is there.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, and don't get me wrong, we're not talking about people where, I have very good friends that I speak to once every 6 months. And I'm fine with it. But we speak and we're on the phone for 4 hours. You're getting caught up. That's different. But if I catch that vibe that you're not here for me, I won't cut you off. But I've definitely distanced myself and just like, you know what? I'm going to do me. You know my number.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I'm gonna keep coming back to Delilah's emails because she really gave us a lot of good stuff to talk about. And this is funny. She says, "What is important in a friendship? I think it is so important to be whole and complete, to love and like yourself. I think people use the term friend too loosely as well."
Agreed. Agreed.
Amen.
Right? This is the part that I love.
Agreed.
She says, "If you are being toxic to yourself, you doggone have the ability to be toxic to me. If you are doing things that create negative karma or God's judgment, however you refer to what goes around comes around, then I do not want to be around." Or I think she meant I do not want you to be around. This part. "It is like having the flu. I don't want to catch it or have it spill into my life. Maybe I just got over the cold and my immune system is down."
Wow.
She's deep.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Delilah. Yes.
Yes.
But it's true. Toxic people, man, they're like a disease.
Yeah.
They spread into your life and they can affect you in negative ways if you allow them to.
Like, I honestly don't have toxic friends. I don't think I've ever had a toxic friend. But I have friends whose friends have been toxic. And it definitely spills over into all aspects of your life. And I pride myself on not having toxic people, but you see it and you just want to say, and I've said to my friends, just get rid of her. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there can also be
that bad though.
There can also be just toxic episodes. Like your friend could just be going through something.
That's different, but
and it's not
Really?
It's good. I think you can have a situation where it's kind of. I think you can get in a situation where you spiral and you're in a fucked up place in life, but you can come out of it.
I don't know if I agree with people being. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I agree with their people going through like bad parts of their life, but like I've seen you go through all kinds of things, and you have never ever changed how you are as a friend to any of your friends.
So you're not a toxic person,
right?
There are toxic episodes, and then there's toxic people. It's just like how they have those bad mind people, all I can say is bad mind.
Cortnie's like, no,
but those are toxic people. Like, you're not toxic.
But I feel like in order to have a toxic episode, you have to have some toxicity in you for it to manifest itself in a way that it affects the people around you negatively, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Because you could go through a toxic episode, but you don't put that toxicity out there onto your friends. You know what I mean? Or the people that you care about.
Yeah, but then there are people who, generally this is a decent person, but that one episode is so bad, it's making them not in their right judgment. Maybe lack
example, because I'm
lack of judgment. For example, right? So, for example, I have a friend, or she's not my friend because I don't have toxic people, but you're I don't. I try not to, at least.
Like, let me be clear.
But perfectly normal person, perfectly normal childhood, perfectly normal upbringing. But then she started dating this one person that was just not good for her. And because he wasn't good for her, he was leading her into doing things that's not right either, But then it took a few years, several years, too many. But then as she started to see that that's not right, and you're coming out of it, you're leading people. You wanted your good friends to bring you back to what you truly are.
But how was she treating her friends during that period of being with that guy?
Distant, she was just a
yeah,
bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch. He was so bitchy. And he was a cheater. He was just manipulative. It's always someone else out to get you. But he was toxic. She wasn't toxic. He was.
Sound like my ex.
But there are toxic people that kind of, how they say it's just, he was so not in the right place. He was criminal minded, he wasn't in jail, but he was criminal minded. And so in turn, she now she didn't do anything criminal, but she definitely
She allowed herself to get wrapped up.
It's and yeah, she didn't like, run drugs down the highway or anything, but
There's that moan, Mel.
what's the moan?
I mean,
What's the moan?
There's a question for you here, though.
What's the
I
moan?
think for someone to go down a path, there has to be some kind of in there. You know what I mean?
It was in
has
there.
to be,
You gotta
it's
have
in
some
there.
curiosity. You gotta have some slight desire for it.
But couldn't that person just been in a bad place and they needed, like you need to find the good? You don't think so?
I feel like
I'm
we
not saying
give
that
people
they're
too much
bad.
credit. We make choices.
No, that's a different topic. Choices are choices. But just because you made a bad choice, that doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
definitely those are choices. She chose to stay with him. She chose to get wrapped up in that life, but it was a toxic period. That doesn't necessarily translate. I wouldn't write her off and say, you know what, this person is forever toxic. I don't want to be friends with you. She acknowledges that during that period she was
She
toxic.
wasn't herself.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
So
I
what
don't know
was?
if I've ever experienced
I
that
mean,
with
but
anybody.
see how she was around it, and it morphed her. It changed her for the time
Right.
being.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're morphing into something, I'm gonna give you that space
Yeah.
To
to
morph it
figure
out.
that out.
Because we're
you
not in
figure
there.
that
You
out.
do it.
Mhm.
You
But
do that on your
I'm not
own.
gonna
I'm not
let
gonna
you
be
come
here for
here and morph me.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how long it took me
Mhm.
to get through. I'm not. No.
But that's why you distance
No.
yourself and you say, you know what? And I may not be here for you when you're done with it.
Right.
That's the chance that person took. We may not still be friends, but at the end you come out. If I'm still available,
So that's another question. At what point do you decide to end the friendship due to a toxic episode or just being toxic, period?
well, episodes are episodes. They're supposed to be short term. It could be not that I'm putting an end time. It's not 1 day, 1 month, but 2, 3, 4 years in. That's more than an episode. That's your lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah. Took the words right out. That's your lifestyle,
So you feel like if someone goes through a toxic episode, you should distance yourself, but be there for them for when they come out the episode.
Listen, you want to come out if I'm available still as
Okay.
a friendship.
Okay.
Because during your toxic time, you might have done so much damage that I might not still be available for you. But if I'm available and I'm open, because, we can get past things and I'm open, but I might be in a different season.
That's another
You know?
thing.
I think you gotta let people fall flat on their face.
Definitely.
I agree.
Flat.
It's hard.
It's hard
to
for me to
Dig in the
It's hard-
grave.
It's hard
Yeah,
to see
it's
it.
not
It's hard
easy.
to see it.
But
Especially when you've tried,
Yeah.
You've tried working, you've tried talking it out, you've tried saying I'm here for you, you've tried it. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what? I've given all I can.
I'll pray for you and sit on the side.
that's it.
Good luck,
I'll
girl.
pray for you.
Pour one out for you, homie.
Poor one.
Yeah. I had to end a friendship recently.
Tell it.
I don't want to go through the story.
Mm.
Okay.
You gotta tell it.
You gotta do it.
So everyone who listens is gonna know who I'm talking about. But anyway, I had a friend that I was good friends with since like high school. We were like inseparable, always together. And the funny thing is, when we were friends in college, I actually had to pull away from her because she was the type of person that was very like self-absorbed, and everything that we talked about was about her life. It was about her relationships, every single detail of everything she was going through. And it was like I couldn't really get a word in edgewise unless it was commenting on what she's
Makes
going
me
through.
sigh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for a long time, I didn't really acknowledge the fact that like it was kind of a one-sided friendship. And I pulled away from her when we were in college when she was with this one person. And then eventually I came back after she wasn't with that person. And it was still the same thing, like she was still, being the same way. And I always felt like we had like such a great friendship, but it took actually having my daughter to realize that, like, okay, this cannot go on like it's been going on. So the thing that showed it to me was when I got pregnant, the first person I told was my friend. So her reaction was not what I was expecting.
Bad. That was bad.
She was just like
bad.
oh, kind of. And I told her when I was expecting, and it was in the same month of her birthday. And she's like, oh, you better not have the baby on my birthday. And she kind of made it seem like, she kind of made it seem like she was, she seemed like she was kind of joking, but you could feel that it wasn't really a joke. Yeah. So I was expecting a lot more excitement for it being my first baby, you know? Right. And I can understand, like, maybe feeling away because, like, we were so close, and you know that when a baby comes, your friendship is going to change in a way, or maybe it doesn't have to, but I think she felt like it was going to change.
Not okay. It don't matter.
I think she was, that was a selfish person from the beginning.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and it took me a long time to realize that. So I was like, all right, whatever, that happened. But as I was pregnant, throughout my whole pregnancy, everyone came and was like super supportive. People I wasn't even close to. So supportive. She was nowhere to be found, like was never there. And when it came close to our baby shower, she didn't even like really participate. Like she kind of made it seem like, oh, I'm not good at these things, and just was like off to the side, or would like go to the car when we're like planning to like get the cake and stuff like that. And we were just like, okay. So whatever. I still, you know, she came to the hospital when I had the baby. She postponed like going on a work trip or whatever. But like I still felt like she didn't really want to be a part of it. So after I had the baby, like all throughout this whole pregnancy, I was just thinking to myself over the year, because there's way more to this story, but I can't, we'll be here for like ever. So I was thinking to myself, like, you know what, this isn't right. It doesn't feel right. I can't do this anymore. And at that point, before I had the baby, I was thinking I wouldn't continue this friendship. And I wasn't going to say anything about it because I felt like I didn't need to say anything. It's like, you should know. Like, I was asking other people, like, when your friend is pregnant,
when you're that
right?
self-absorbed, you don't
see it.
No.
But other people I would see, they had their friends who were pregnant, and they were telling me about it. Like, oh, my best friend is pregnant, and showing me stuff. And I would get sad. And I'm just like, but my best friend doesn't care. She's not here. Yeah. So when no, don't do that, because I'm gonna get emotional about it. So when
take a minute.
Take a second.
I can't believe it starts. When I had the baby, she came around and I told her about it, and I was like, look, you know, I told her everything I was feeling, and like, where were you? You weren't here when I wanted you to be here, and the most important part of my life. And she was just like, I felt like you were gonna go away. And I'm like, why? Like, I would want you to be there helping me with my baby. And like, it just was like, maybe for a week after that, like, she apologized to me, and she was like, I'm so sorry, like profusely apologizing. And for a week, she was great. She was there. She was with me. We were like enjoying our friendship, and she was enjoying the baby too. But then it went right back to the way it was. And
do you think she genuinely meant what she was saying?
When she apologized?
Yeah. Or like, do you think that was the real reason?
No, I think she was jealous.
You think she was jealous?
I think she was jealous.
Because the attention's not on her.
Exactly. Because I went all these years.
And maybe she also wants a baby and the marriage and, you know, just the whole situation.
Yeah. Because I've seen her get jealous with other people.
Yeah.
She had a friend who got married, and she got like really like nasty with her and wasn't happy with her at first. And I thought to myself, I should have saw that in her. Because if you can't be happy for your friends like that, like, how are you going to be happy for me? Why am I different?
But that's not what you were looking for. This was a person that you genuinely had what you perceived as a great friendship, you know. So you would have never, she might do things, but you wouldn't expect it to be that she's jealous or, you know, she's that self-absorbed. You know, you're just like, well, that's how she is. You know, sometimes we tend to say, well, that's just how that person is.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah. And I made a lot of excuses for her. And I have no problem with a little bit of jealousy, because at sometimes we get jealous. And I don't have a problem with getting jealous. To yourself. But don't let me know. Feel it.
Yeah, don't let me know.
That's the difference. Don't make me feel it.
Don't make me feel it. Like, if you say it like, I got a little jealous, you know, okay, cool. Move on with that. Don't. But she was the type of person that would make it very known, and it was like the attention had to be on her. And it's like, this is my time. I've given you all these years of attention for you. Mm-hmm. Give me mine, and you couldn't even do that for me, and that's what hurt the most.
No, take a minute, babe.
So, the funny thing is, I decided, like, right before the New Year's, I was like, God was telling me, he was like, you cannot go with this friendship into the new year. Like, he had been telling me this for a long time, but I was ignoring it because I loved her. I still do, obviously. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this. I can't go into the new year with this friendship. And I was so angry to the point where I just wanted to disappear from her life.
She was going to ghost her.
I was going to ghost her.
Oh.
Which is messed up because we had like over 20 years of friendship. But I felt like you hurt me so deeply that I just don't even feel like I owe you anything. And we already had a deep conversation about this. And you already know where I'm coming from. So it's like, why do I have to go through this whole thing again and see you and call you and tell you, look, this isn't working out. But, you know, Melissa and some of my other friends convinced me that I should at least say something. But I took the D-bag way out. I'm not even going to lie. I was a jerk, and I just texted out the friendship.
You know I'm about that text life. I punk out a lot of shit.
Mel all the way.
All the way.
Did you give her that advice? Did you say send a text?
She did.
Yeah.
She was like,
she told me I should at least say something. Because she knew something was up, and she was saying she wanted to hang out with me, and I was like, I didn't answer her, and it wasn't normal for me to not answer.
So did she respond to the text?
Yeah, it was very, very cordial. She's like, is this something that we should talk about? And I was like, no, we already talked about it. And she's like, okay, I understand. And I was like, I'll always love you, and I hope that you'll be okay, like something to that effect. And she was like, I love you too, and that was the end of it. We never spoke to each other again.
Never spoken again?
Nope.
Wow.
And I'm sure she hates me for the way that I ended it. And I wouldn't blame her, but like
But really?
I couldn't.
With all the shenanigans, come on, man.
But she wouldn't
she
wouldn't recognize that she had shenanigans though, So.
She had to have. She had to have. And she used to tell me on several occasions, she used to be like, I don't know how you're friends with me. She used to always say that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you're always friends with me.
So then she had to recognize.
Yeah, of course she knew.
She knew.
Yeah.
You don't know you treat. You come on. How you not gonna know you treating somebody like ass? Come on, man.
I'm sure she has her own side to the story, and but that's my story with the toxic.
But it does hurt, though. It
hurts a lot. Obviously, you see me crying over it still.
No, but
I haven't cried in like a year about that.
Yeah,
you do. And it's crazy because it feels like you break up. Like, it feels like how you break up with.
It is a breakup. It is a breakup.
It's a significant relationship in your life.
Yeah, she was literally a part of my family. Like, my dad loved her. You know what I mean? Like, all my family members loved her. And I loved her family. They loved me. And, still to this day, I'm friends with some of her family members. So if they hear this...
I'm sure they know too. Though.
But you're right though, because they must know how she is.
I think so. But you got to do what's best for you. But then once I felt like our friendship was holding me back, and once I made that decision to let her go, is when everything took off for me. Like, I went back to school to become a therapist. I'm doing this podcast now. I have great friends now, and I just feel better. Like, I feel like I have good relationships with people, like that I could talk to someone about how I'm feeling and they hear me and they feel me and I could be there for them. And it's more equal than like they're just dumping everything on me and expecting me to just always be there to listen and pick them up. And
after a while, your bag gets full.
Girl.
Right? It gets, and it also gets
overflowing.
heavy.
Yes.
You can't carry it anymore.
Yes.
So
yeah.
And if I'm gonna be a therapist all the time, you gotta pay some money, yo.
But yeah, it's always hard to deal with that and make that ultimate decision to let go of someone when you know that they are just not good for your life. You feel like horrible about it.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
I got all emotional. I'm sorry, guys.
No, but that's what
Have
this
a
is
shot.
about.
I was waiting for the cry on the mic.
You knew it was coming.
You've been fighting it all
I've been
these
trying.
episodes.
I've been trying to be
I was
good.
waiting for it.
You're gonna try to Barbara Walters?
We gonna get you soon. We gonna get you to cry soon.
Nah. I'm good. I'm not
It's
crying.
like I'm gonna thug it out.
Mhm.
We gonna get you.
I ain't doing it.
I'm a Jada
Don't
Pinkett
start
you.
looking up at the sky.
Nah.
So, I mean, I don't feel so bad because on IG I did a poll and 88% of the people who answered said that they have been in a toxic friendship also. So, a lot of people go through this.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's, as I just said, it's just like relationships, you know, whether it's men, family members, friends, it happens. And the important thing is recognizing that it happens and you just need to separate yourself from it.
Yeah. What you thinking about, Mel? You got that thinking face
so
on.
I had someone reach out to me and I don't know how to, like, I don't know how I feel about it. But so the person was talking about how they feel like they're outgrowing certain friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she feels like she's growing in you know, mentally, spiritually, and having a friend who is stagnant and just there's no growth, she just feels like it's just not.
Yeah,
she's just not feeling it. She wants to
got a point.
end it, but it's like, I don't know, because then I have Sylvia always on his shoulder with her opinion of friends. You know what I'm saying? Accept people for as they are. You can't expect them.
Yeah, but when do you draw the line?
but at the same time,
But then it's like, you know, this person isn't growing, but it's like, let them be them.
yeah,
But then I don't know.
because that might be
How does
okay
it-
for Sylvia to do, but that might not be okay for you. Like
Yeah.
everybody has to treat their
That's
friends according
Oh.
to what's comfortable for them.
Especially because you are that person, you know, like you absorb their energy. And if you're feeling that their energy isn't good for you, then sometimes you just have to let friendships go. And
Right.
not because the person is toxic, but just simply because we're no longer in the same place.
Right.
You know how they say God put people in your lives for a reason.
I totally
And maybe
agree with
your
that.
reason, that season and that reason has kind of expired, widened,
Been
whatever. Yeah. So while, Sylvia might
My
be
boo.
that person
My boo.
that
Shout out
is
to
more
Sylvia.
open.
What up,
My
girl?
boo.
She always comments on the page.
She does.
Sometimes you just kind of have to let
I
people
hardly
go.
get to see her. I know it's hard for you mamas out there
Yes.
to
That's another
handle your
thing.
kids and
Ooh,
friendships.
that's another topic with friendship.
It is.
That's another topic
It
with
is.
friendship.
It is.
Yeah.
And even though we don't see each other, I love that we just still stay connected through phone calls and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
But see, you're
It's
a great
important.
friend because
It's
you
important.
understand that. You understand that it's different when you have a child.
Of
and
course
the
it
dynamics of your
is.
friendship change. But it
Of
doesn't
course it
mean
is.
you love them any less or you care any
Definitely
less.
not. Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, and I'm a single mother, so I know how it is. But, I don't...
It's hard getting you out sometimes. It's annoying.
But she goes out though. She
She does it though.
Well, I go out, though, because my son's getting older.
Yeah.
He's getting older. He's 11. Hi, Nagasi, because he said, make sure you shout me out.
Oh,
He's
hey,
so
Nagasi.
So cute.
He's such a good kid.
He
He is.
But he's getting older, so it definitely makes it easier. But at the same time, you need to be understanding that sometimes I don't not go because I don't want to go. I go when it's,
when you can.
when I can. And the other thing is too, it's not that I don't necessarily have a babysitter, but you don't always want to burden someone.
Yes.
It's like a chore. I don't want you to feel like you have to put up with my kid, and not that
right.
anyone I know who would watch him would say he's a burden, but it's sometimes you're just kind of like, you know what, they watched him last week, maybe I'll just miss this one episode. But I'm a big believer in showing up.
She
Showing
said,
up. I'm
as soon as we
passionate
said the
about
topic,
showing
she
up.
was like, make sure you address showing up. I was like, oh God,
I'm
okay.
passionate about showing up.
What do you mean by showing up?
Listen, it goes hand in hand with supporting, so whether it's a birthday party, whether it's your housewarming, or it could just be that I need a girl's day. You sometimes have to say, you know what, I went out 2 weeks in a row, but you know what? My friend can use me right now and let me just go. So maybe I don't want to be in that club, or maybe I don't want to be at that restaurant, or maybe I don't want to eat vegan tonight, but I'm all about the vegan. I'm down. I'm down with the vegan. She knows I'm down with the vegan. But, you know, sometimes you just have to show up. Sometimes you have to put aside that I have to get up early tomorrow. And because your friend notices when you're not there. And your friend notices that, you know what, I've invited Weslyn to 10 events and she's never come to one of them, you know, but she will notice, you know what?
I will cut you off. Unless your kid is your excuse each time.
No, but your kid can't be your excuse all the time.
Yeah, it can't be.
Yeah, I will cut you off. 10?
You would notice that I didn't show up 10 times, but what you would appreciate that, you know, that one time she showed up and she could, you know, might only be here for 2 hours, but she showed up, and I think that's very important. And I always try to show
understanding.
up. Yeah, you have to show up. Your friends appreciate your support.
I agree.
I'm a big believer in showing up. I make the effort, you know, whatever it is, as long as I can afford it. And even affording is, you know, but you're not saying that you're each paying $400 a pop. Yeah, that's not happening. But, you know, as long as, hey, I could come up, maybe I can just buy appetizers, but you show up and you support your friends because they notice.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer in showing up.
That's very true.
As I said, I'm a firm believer.
I love that. I love that a lot.
And I think for me, like, I don't get hurt easily. Like, people don't hurt my feelings very easily. But I would notice if you didn't, you know, make the effort to be my friend. And maybe making the effort is showing up, you know? For me, at least for me, that's a big thing, is that that's making an effort. I invited you someplace. Just come and, you know, maybe I'm the person that goes out every week, but I don't expect you to, but just at least one time make the effort.
Our homegirl Ariana is good for that. I always loved the fact that whenever I had a party or anything going on, she always was the first to respond and be like, I'm there. She didn't have to find out if anybody else was going. She was always there. She'd be on time. If she wasn't going to come, she let me know.
Just blow up her spot.
Whatever, I still appreciate you, girl.
One down for Monday.
No, but I love that. I love that. And even if you can't show up, I appreciate people who are just honest. Like, look, I can't make it. And I don't expect for you to tell me, like, the reasons why. No, like, I don't need a story. If you can't make it, cool. Do what you got to do. But thanks for letting me know. Like, I appreciate that.
But I don't take that I can't make it every time as in, you know, like, it. I recognize that people are busy. I recognize it. And, you know, will it annoy me? Yes. Will I cut off our friendship because you don't? Not necessarily, but I'll give you back what you give to me, you know? Right. But I recognize it, though, and it does bother me that you won't make the effort to at least support me in whatever space when I support you. So,
I agree.
Show up. So when I invite you out, you make sure you come, right?
I don't want to hear no shit. I've been out, so if I miss one, I can miss one. I showed up for the birthday.
You're another good shower upper.
We're going out tomorrow too. Don't worry, we good. True. I am good at showing up. I'm good at it. Yeah. I suck. I had to apologize to a friend not that long ago. I communicate a lot less than I used to. And hang out a lot less than I used to.
Yeah, but you're in a different season.
I am. Yeah. I'm in a different space right now.
You're feeding into yourself now.
Yeah, so I don't really. I'd rather just be at home, relaxing, and
but
really
that doesn't bother me that you don't go out as much, but you go out when it's important.
I know, but I have to do better at reaching out. I acknowledged it with one of my friends. Like, I'm sorry. You know, I really haven't been hitting you up to say what's up.
Does that person hit you up though?
I mean, I was just gonna get to that.
Does that
person definitely does the reaching out.
Okay.
So I acknowledge that. But yeah, no, I feel you. If you give me that energy of not really trying to hang out and hit me up, then I'll reciprocate.
Yeah.
It's reciprocate 2019.
Do guys go through all this stuff that we do?
Nah. Yes, they do.
Nah.
They have to.
Nah.
Wait a minute.
Nah.
I know a situation where with you and your people.
But even that, it's not like to that extent.
Yeah.
like
You don't really care that much.
no, we just make fun of it. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
We don't get upset like you guys get in your feelings.
Oh wait,
You
all
know?
day, all day.
We are emotional.
We'll be like,
all
yeah.
day.
And we're
I'm in
quick
my
to tell each
feelings
other.
right
We
now.
pretty much say it 1, 2, 3. It's like, yo, you effed up, homie. What happened?
Yeah.
Or,
That's what I love about
you know,
guys.
it's at least in my circle, it's been very rare to non-existent where if I've done something wrong and I didn't realize it, they didn't call me on it and vice versa. We're
And then
pretty
it's a
that
quick
way.
conversation
Yeah.
too. It's like,
It's not
yo,
dragged on.
Nah.
I didn't appreciate that.
We
My
ain't-
bad, bro.
We
They
ain't
dap it
missing,
up and
like,
it's over.
like not texting each other for a week or something like y'all be doing, or looking at y'all sideways in the office. No, we're like, yo, what's up with you? You know, we're like, yo, this was wrong. My bad, homie. That's it. You gonna go hang out?
And then you move
That's
on,
it.
and it's
Yeah.
like nothing even
Yeah,
happened.
we going to the spot later. All
That's
right.
why I've always been friends with guys more. Well, not now,
Yeah,
but
that.
I
Fix
used
that.
to always be friends with guys. Like I never really had that many
Yeah, they
female
have-
friends because of
I always
that.
had girlfriends.
Guys have less baggage in friendship.
Yeah.
Not baggage as friends go. They
Mm-hmm.
don't carry the same sort of grudges with them.
The jealousy. They don't have.
Yeah,
that.
women can be
Yeah.
petty as fuck.
I hate the
Petty.
jealousy.
That's another thing.
Petty as
Petty. No, the pettiness bothers me.
I haven't really dealt with petty.
Just like little things. When you go from 0 to 100 over something so little, that bothers me. Like, it bothers me. Like, how old are we?
I had a chick get mad at me. I don't know what I said. I said something light. It was light, and she had an attitude with me for like 2 months.
You see, she never
Girl,
said it, right?
bye.
You had to talk to her about it.
Nah,
You just did it.
we moved different. It's never gonna be. That was bullshit.
Exactly.
Bitch,
If
2
you gotta-
months she was mad.
I'm saying if you
Because
got
I called you
problem,
a hater
speak
real
on it.
quick because
Yeah.
that was fact.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
It is what it is.
Get
It
outta
is
here
what
with
I'm
that.
saying.
But
I'm
it's
just saying.
petty, and it's those little petty things. Like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. I'm quick. I'll say some smart shit real quick, But if you don't know me, that's how I am, for you to get hung up on just like stupid little things, you
Yeah.
know, like.
For me, if you feel some type of way, I just don't like that situation where you just disappear for 2 months. Come talk to me. Like, I'm not a scary person. Like, I'm not going to do anything. Just talk to me about it. If you feel away, I'm going to respect you. I'm going to hear you out, especially if I really care about our friendship.
Right.
I'm
And,
quick to apologize.
you
If
know,
I genuinely hurt your feelings, sorry.
Right.
Like that was clearly not my intention.
Right. Well, why you got to
You
be all
know?
dramatic about it and disappear? Like, come on.
And then if I hurt your feelings and it was a joke, you can't take a joke?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how sensitive are you that we can't joke? Because was it reversed? I would just be like, you know what? And laugh it off and we move on, So just stop being petty about stupid things. Just, I don't have the time for it. I don't have the patience.
Why do you think we as women are so like dramatic about everything? So emotional.
Everything
so
is a
petty?
federal case.
I think it's because you're just more emotional than we are.
We are.
That's what it is.
You guys are supposedly more logical.
Not always.
Well,
but
I do know some emotional
I'll
men.
admit to that.
Yo, the
We
men
know a lot of
today,
emotional
the men
men.
today are emotional.
Yes.
The men today are emotional.
We do know emotional men.
Yeah.
Like these men, manly
can't.
men aren't. You know what I'm saying?
I can't.
There's
can't
not
deal
a
with
lot
an
of them
emotional
around
man.
anymore. I can
Can't
attest
do
to
Somebody
that.
has to be someone has to be level-headed, and someone has to be a little titch more dramatic. We can't both be
You
the same.
both can't be.
I hate when
We're
it's
not both
I
the
hate when it's
same.
the guy. I'm looking at
Yeah,
you like,
no, 'cause-
why? I'm supposed to have this tantrum.
Because now I'm like,
Stupid.
where is your man card?
You
What the hell?
You start feeling weird. You're like,
Oh
damn,
my god.
am I not womanly enough?
I hate when I have to really be wear the pants. I feel like it happens to me.
He's like, stop crying.
Wait,
More so lately than in the past.
Yes.
You've definitely been feeling that way.
Yes. They've made me feel that way, punks.
Yeah,
Not here for the girly
I
man.
hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like you dealt with a fake friend? Like someone who just adjusts who they are to like fit in with the group of friends or to fit in with you. I feel like I've
You mean a
encountered
wannabe?
that. Not even a wannabe, just like for example with me, like I don't curse, and you know, like I'm a Christian. I don't really put that out there like that, but like I feel like sometimes people feel like they have to edit themselves around me because I don't like say certain things or I don't act a certain way, so they feel like in order for me, I don't know, maybe to be their friend, they edit themselves.
But that might not be a bad thing. It might just be you have a good characteristic and you bring that to mind when they're around you. So maybe they're trying to adjust who they are. It doesn't mean, you know, that they're being fake. Maybe they want to be that, so they're around you and they practice with you because that's just that's who you are.
Well, thank you. I like that.
Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
like that. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want you to feel like I think I'm better than you because I don't do this or do that or I don't curse or whatever. Like, I want you to feel like you could be yourself around me. Like, I accept you for who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some people, like, I'll know, like, you're doing stuff, but you won't tell me because you're afraid that I'm going to judge you for it. Never. Like, never. I will never judge you for it. Like, I've done my share of stuff. And, like, I'm not, like, going to sit up here and be holier than thou over anybody.
Yeah.
Some of the shitty stuff I used to do, I would tell you like a day after I told someone
I
else.
know.
I had to work up to
You
it.
let that
I'd be
get
like,
cool.
damn, I don't want to fucking tell Cortnie this shit, man. She's
What, you thought the gates of hell would
because
open?
you know why?
to me.
Because she asked the questions that'll make you
Right.
feel stupid.
You know I'm a question girl.
That's
You
true.
know what you did was dumb.
She
And
goes into
she's
a
gonna
therapy bag, yeah.
ask you the questions to
Yeah.
remind you you're dumb.
But
you
you
can-
that's
so
not what I'm
I
trying
had
to
to-
do.
I
I'm
had
trying
to-
to make you feel
I
dumb.
But
hear
in
you,
a
but I
nice way.
have to prepare myself for Courtney, so I'll give myself another day,
Yeah.
and then I'll be like, all right, I gotta tell her because I know she probably
You
overheard
gotta
me.
talk to somebody,
this.
give it a
But it's
day.
not because you're thinking she's
So
going to judge
funny.
you. It's simply just because you're going to have to acknowledge.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I don't know that your example is one as a fake friend. But I know what you
that's
mean as
different.
to someone who's fake, you know, because I think we all sort of adjust ourselves based on our friendship.
Yeah,
but
you're
there are
right.
those
You're
fake
right.
friends who go back to being the non-supportive friends, you know, who also leads back to the toxic friends, you know. So I think those people are all the same. They all
You're
wear the
right.
same cloak, you know, that same
She's
disguise.
like cloak.
God,
Wow.
that's like 1780 you know? Cloak. You know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. I do. It just made me think of Star Trek. Was it Star Trek that they had the cloak?
With a cloak? The cloaking device you talking
Yes,
about?
yes. I like that word.
Ancient
Do you?
times. Like Nagasi says,
is
in
happening?
olden days.
What's happening?
I don't know, baby. How do you describe what cloak is?
It's like Sherlock Holmes, you know. It's
Like a
a,
covering, you know.
it's a disguise.
Yeah.
Just,
A disguise.
It's
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
it
the
is.
outerwear.
best way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I meant.
Because like in Star Trek, what did the cloaking device do? Like
Hid
it made
the
them
ship.
invisible, right?
So-
yes,
Right.
it
So
made
that's
their
exactly
ship
what it
invisible.
is.
Mhm.
We really
Sorry.
ran on.
Sorry, guys.
We see everything leads to Star Trek somehow, right?
It was a great show.
Everything in my life leads back to Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You know, I never watched that show.
That was a good show.
Shame on you.
Yeah. You didn't watch that?
You didn't see my
No, you always tell me
They're a
that.
band of assholes. I'm
Yeah.
definitely down with the
You
crew.
didn't see my Time Travel Tuesday post on my whiteboard. It said that was
I
the last
didn't.
episode of Seinfeld. Was
No,
Back
was it
then.
Seinfeld? Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was Seinfeld. This was on Tuesday of this week.
I gotta go back and watch it.
You really
Thank
do.
God for Wi-Fi and unlimited.
So you've
Yes.
never
data.
seen an episode of Seinfeld?
Not one.
You don't know about the
Not
Soup Nazi?
one?
Not one.
Not
Wow.
one.
Not one. I've
Nazi?
seen like little pieces. Who? What?
The Soup
That's
Nazi,
weird.
yo.
See.
That's
Man.
weird.
Never seen it.
Okay, get on that.
I've never seen Friends either.
Wow.
Yeah.
you
The
from
way
the
you guys are
90s?
looking at me right
Wow.
now, the judgment.
What
How
TV have you
weird.
watched?
Martin.
Were you just at home reading books all the time?
Fresh Prince of Bel Air? You know, black people shows.
Oh,
I'm
she
not-
dropped that real
saying
quick. You
that-
heard
I'm not
that,
mad.
right?
Saying that to
All
say
right.
that,
Yeah.
you know,
That-
black
Okay.
people don't watch
That
like
came from
these
somewhere,
things,
yo.
but clearly a lot of people do. But I just
That's Long Island
that's
TV?
just what.
Long Island.
No, Long Island people watch Seinfeld and Friends and stuff like that. But I just wasn't into. I don't know. I never looked into it.
They didn't have that channel in your house?
You're so extra. He always get.
Yeah, I never watched watched it. Frasier, didn't watch those either.
You didn't watch
Did you
Frasier
watch it?
either?
Too. I liked Frasier.
Of course, I watched
I
Frasier.
didn't watch that.
And he was a therapist,
Yeah.
bro.
I watched it.
Yeah.
He was. I didn't know that.
Sitcoms that
He
I
had a
liked.
talk radio.
Yeah.
He was at a radio.
Yeah, he was a therapist.
I watched Cheers a few times.
few
About a
times.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Cheers
And
too. I'm not gonna
Cheers,
lie.
Frasier was the
I watched.
spin-off of Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he used to go to the bar.
Oh.
He used to go to the bar all the
Yeah.
time.
Mm.
Yeah.
I watched Tool Time.
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Oh,
Tool
I
Time
said,
was
what
a
the hell
show.
is Tool
That
Time?
was a show on,
Yes,
on
on
Home
Home
Improvement.
Improvement.
Yeah, I watched Home Improvement.
Yeah.
That was a dope show.
The dude that you never saw his face.
Yeah, kind of like how you can't see my face
Yeah.
behind this microphone on YouTube.
Tim.
Tim the Tool Man.
This
Taylor.
conversation went
I
real.
don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how we got from Friends to
This
like
went
all
left.
those sitcoms.
Anyway.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
fake friends. Have you guys dealt with like real legit fake friends? Like you think there's someone and they're not.
No, because I will tell you, but
I can totally see that being the case.
yeah.
It's painful dealing with that.
It's painful.
Yeah.
It requires so much of your energy to have to communicate with people who are not here for you, So it's just like,
See, that's
I
what I'm
never
talking
had a fake
about.
friend.
That's why I wanted to ghost out.
Damn.
No, but you had to address that though.
What? You was with me on the ghost.
Nah, you had to do something. You had to say something. I didn't
You
say
was-
just disappear.
No, you was with me on the ghost.
Nah.
I was the one.
No,
Okay,
you
so
came up with the
babe.
text though.
I'm likely
She
to
had to at least text
Yeah,
out.
she had
see.
to
I'm
do
likely
something.
to just not acknowledge it. I would have left it and not said another word.
See,
I would've
Weslyn's,
just-
Weslyn's with me.
I would have just left it alone. I mean, I don't.
I ain't
You
gonna
know what?
lie. I would have ghosted. I would have ghosted. I know you would.
You just wanted to see what would happen.
I'm a
right?
ghoster.
No, but not for nothing. Had I been on the outside, I would have said the same thing. I would have been like, "Nah, you can't do that.
Yeah,
you gotta say
nah,
something."
You gotta say something. You gotta
But since
say
it was
something.
me, I was like, "Nah, I don't."
And then you're not that type of person. So
Who?
You.
I'm not. What type of person?
the type of person that just ignores the
ghost.
situation.
You
A
probably
ghoster.
would have.
I'm not.
You just finished saying that you got to get to the bottom of the question, girl.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you-
No,
it-
but if I've already done it several times, like I'm
You know
not
what
gonna
would've-
beat
would've
a dead
happened?
horse.
Is that you would have
So
ghosted?
now you're calling her a horse?
No, no,
You starting shit. Stop.
no. But I think what he's saying though is that it would have weighed on you. You would have ghosted, but it would have weighed on you. Not that it's
It
still
probably
not,
would
but
have.
you would have felt it,
It
and you
probably would
been,
have.
You would have felt guilty about it. You would have felt, because it would have weighed. It would have been
I don't
heavy.
even think she would have let me do it. Honestly,
Oh.
there's no way she would have let me do that.
Mm.
She would have.
So you've never heard another word from her?
No, and I didn't
No,
expect to.
no.
I didn't expect to. She knew. She knew from a long time that I was pulling away.
But wouldn't that want you to change though?
Not if you're self-absorbed and you
Yeah,
don't
you're not
really
gonna-
care. Especially if you think that I'm still gonna always be there, because I was always there. And you know what? That's another thing. Like when you're in a situation that's toxic and you know it's time to get out, you'll feel a certain way. Like the last time I was in her presence, I physically felt sick. I could not be there with her. I was like, okay, this
Yeah, I
doesn't
remember
feel good.
that.
I had to leave. I was like, I can't do
Because you
this.
didn't want to be there anymore. You
Yeah,
didn't
and
wanna
it was
be
crazy
around
that
her.
it manifested itself in me feeling sick. Like I couldn't hold it anymore.
Because it's heavy. It's a
Yeah.
burden.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is sad.
It's a burden.
It's really sad. I feel bad talking about it like this, but that's what we're here for in the
But I don't think
Common
you're
Women podcast.
There you go.
But I don't think you're saying anything bad. You're talking about how you truly felt, and it was something that you had to get rid of.
Yeah.
You're not sitting here calling her all sorts of names. It was
Yeah,
just
no.
your relationship wasn't working anymore,
Right.
and not by your doing. It was simply, it was all her. And
I'm
maybe
sure I
you know,
contributed to it. There's
Yeah,
still
but
always two
the
sides.
way it affected you is what we're talking about.
Right, right.
So
I feel you. I feel you.
why are you looking at me like that?
Say it.
Because I'm on camera.
Let it out.
So I'm smiling at you.
Mm.
Otherwise, I've had dead face. Look
This is the way you don't agree with what she said.
Mm.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm just sitting here.
Oh man, I feel like there's so much more to talk about with friends. Like, how do you deal with when you're friends with someone and you're both single and then one of them gets a boyfriend?
Girl, give me all the juicy details.
I suck.
There you go.
I've been told about myself.
Really?
Jennifer makes fun of me all the time. She's always like, "Oh, you're dating someone? Bye. We're not gonna see you. We're not gonna see her." Yeah, I kind of disappear a little bit. I'll see you. I see you less. I do. I see you less.
I feel like that's expected.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, as a friend, if you're dating someone, I would expect that you don't have as much time for me.
Mm-hmm.
But so maybe we won't see each other, but a text,
we can still talk. We can
still
still make
talk.
a plan. Jennifer don't ever chill anyway, so I don't know what she's talking about. She likes to mess with me.
She gonna get you.
Whatever.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be upset that you're, I can't go out tonight because you're hanging out with your boyfriends. But if I text you, whether we talk by text or whatever, but or you find the time. Maybe our time to talk might be in the car on your ride home. Mm-hmm. Maybe that might be the time but I just fit in. I just want to know.
Yeah, gotta be morning or after or when I'm alone, so I could talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm gonna talk shit about him.
I just want the details. That's all I want. You're dating. It's the fun time. It's fun. I want to. I'm not gonna be jealous. What's up?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, but do you get jealous as the single friend still?
Nah.
I don't.
I didn't.
Who has time for that?
Yeah.
Have fun.
I can't stand
he's the
jealousy.
one.
I
man.
applaud
It's
it.
so
I
annoying.
applaud it when my girls
that's
get with
right.
somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Good. As long as he's good.
Right.
Now,
Right.
if that ain't a good situation,
Then that's hard to
that
watch.
sucks.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you can't really voice your opinion because a lot of females don't take that well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to
So,
get involved.
watching your friend walk into
And
some
then
bullshit
also
is
too,
hard.
you don't want to be that friend that like is encouraging them to get out of a situation, and it wasn't really as bad as they portrayed it to be. Because you always get the story from their perspective,
Yeah.
but there might be a whole nother story from.
You gotta
his
know your
perspective.
friend.
Right?
You gotta know your friend.
Right?
Because I got a friend that tells me stuff, and I'm like, but I know you're kind of an asshole. So what did you do? Like, what did you do? What did you do?
Right?
And then I'll get both sides. Oh, that's.
Yeah, it's you.
That's
You don't want to get too involved in other people's relationships.
Yeah, because it doesn't. But I feel though that like, if I'm sharing, especially if we're going through something, one, you can't share everything. You shouldn't.
That was the
share
next thing I was
everything.
gonna say.
You shouldn't share everything, especially because
He's big on that.
Word.
yeah, some
Guys
things
are.
just some
Guys don't
things
like
just
that.
have to stay,
Yeah.
Stay
and
secret.
especially when you tell everything and then you're not done and you get back together, because then now your friend
Your
is looking
friends
at
hold
that
on to
guy.
it.
I
as
learned my
like-
lesson with that.
Crazy.
Yes.
I learned my lesson with that. Yeah.
I think we all have. I think
That
we've
happened
all
with
been in
somebody I
places
know.
where we,
Yeah.
and so you can't tell everything.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, when you do tell, it's like, all right, sometimes I just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I won't necessarily, I won't ever tell you, no, I would tell you to leave him. I would. Who am I kidding? I would tell you. But at the same time, if you didn't, I wouldn't hold it against you. I just wouldn't say as often,
I feel
because
like
after a while you get fed up of hearing
Yeah.
the same story over and over again too. It's like,
Sorry,
Right.
Wes. I know I beat you with a couple stories over
Duh.
I don't think
no,
so.
you're not like that.
No.
You're not like that.
And also, yeah, no, it's
Not even close.
not even close. That's not what we're talking about. Not even close.
That happened to me with somebody I know. They complained to me about their girlfriends, and it was so bad that I was like, "You need to get out of this relationship." I didn't say that,
Right.
but like that's what I was feeling. But they decided to stay with her, and this was several years ago, and they're still together till this day. And I still look at her like, he should have left you a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like it sticks with you. They've moved on, but it sticks with you.
It will stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, your face.
I like when Cortnie pops her lips. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because I usually don't really do that. I do it for the podcast.
I wish that the camera was angled the way I
So-
was.
so you
from
could see the side?
I saw a lot right now. Like it was good though.
I can't even imagine. But yeah. My
Yeah.
alter ego.
But then sometimes you find out after they've broken up that, damn, you were going through all of that because you didn't know that all of that was happening. But I'm glad I didn't know while you were in it either, because that's a lot.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I've gotten yelled at, because I'm quick to forget, so I gotta get it out when it comes. I've gotten yelled at by friends because it'll end and I'll be like, oh, thank God, because I saw some shit, and they were like, but why the fuck did you say anything? But you didn't ask me.
Yes.
See, but here's how I feel. I've gotten to a place, and this is for everybody. I've gotten to a place where I'm not really going to ask you much. I'm going to accept whatever you want to tell me, and we'll talk about it. But I'm not prying at all. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yep.
If you want to share with me, we could talk about it. You want an opinion, you ask me for it. I'm not giving it to you just to give it to you, and I'm not butting in. I don't care how close we are. I'm not doing it.
So would you want someone to tell you something if they knew something about the person that you're dating?
Yeah.
I had a situation where I
Tell
was
me.
dating a guy and it didn't work out. I told my friends that we broke up and they were like, oh, good. Just like you said, like, oh, good. Because we knew, we was wondering why you was with him because he's a cheater. He does this, he does that. I was like, where were y'all at?
Yeah, why didn't you
But
tell
you were
me?
so happy. We didn't want to say nothing because you wouldn't
They
believe
were
us.
hating.
Exactly. You
And I
have
was
to.
just like,
Yeah.
y'all could have
Those
saved
were
me
haters.
No,
from
but
this mess.
What
But
they
they're
had,
probably
though.
right.
Exactly. And then you might look at them and be like, these bitches are hating. And it's not even that. They really see what you're dealing with, but you might not be
Yeah.
ready to receive it. So
Yeah, because they knew him prior to me meeting him. So they really knew this dude.
So you didn't ask them before you started? Like, you
No,
know him. So
I was
what's
really
the-
caught up.
No,
I was really
no,
caught up.
I
Like, I
think-
get why they didn't say anything. I was just like, oh my God. Like, yeah, from the beginning.
Yeah, but
It was
that
ridiculous.
was kind of messed up. They should have said something.
I don't know though. I mean, I think
They
it
could have
depends.
said
That
he's
all-
a player,
that could
just be
backfire.
careful.
That could
Right.
backfire.
Yeah, that
You know, from in the beginning, just,
Right,
oh, he's a
right,
player,
right.
just be careful. Just
Yes,
keep
they
your,
didn't have to get into
your eyes open
details.
on that.
But I wonder though, like how where someone says, "Oh well, I saw my friend's husband or my friend's boyfriend at the mall with someone else, or he's at a bar with some other woman." Would you tell? And I always wonder, and I'm like, likely no. I might most likely call her and be like, "Hey, why don't you meet me for a drink? What are you doing?
How
Calm down."
close are we, though?
Yeah.
But then
'Cause
it
if I
does
see
If
Yeah.
that's
depend.
your friend, I'm
I'm
let
gonna
you
call
know.
you Mel, yo. I saw a homeboy in the
I might
store.
snap a picture, honestly,
Right?
and be like, hey, you know that girl?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Oh, is that your man?
Mm-hmm.
He's at the
I'll
bar.
roll up on him. Like, hey, what's up?
Uh-huh.
I'll make
Where's
sure.
Mel at?
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
You know?
Yeah.
Better roll
But I
that.
don't know. I've never actually been in that situation though, where I've had to. But I always wondered, But I would definitely.
I have.
Oh, you have?
Okay. So, oh man, I don't remember the full story, but I think this guy was dating someone that I knew. No, this guy was in a relationship with a girl. He ended up messing around with my friend. And I said something to the girl because she asked me. That's what it was. She contacted me and was like, yo, do you know if he's seeing other chicks? I was like, well, I mean, he did mess around with my friend. And after that, they got into a fight, and I think they broke up. And then he threatened me.
Oh,
And he was a big dude, like football player, muscles, like, and he threatened me, and I was scared to come around like his area for like a year. It was so funny. Like,
but was he your
scared me.
friend?
I mean, he was
you
a
knew?
friend of a guy that I was dating.
Oh, okay.
So we both were kind of double dating at the time, but he had a girlfriend. And I just dropped dime with
You
no
sure
problem.
did.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him for getting mad, but like he threatened me, like he was gonna kill me or something, and I was scared. I was legit.
It was
scared.
that deep, sir.
Yeah.
You
Right.
threatened
Yeah,
a
But
woman's
it's
life.
funny because like
Shit
several
like that.
years later, because he was really a cool person, and several years later, I talked to him about it, and I was like, "Yo, you don't even understand the level of fear that I had when you threatened me. Like I was not coming around your area." He was like, nah, I wasn't going to do anything. Like, and I was
That's
like,
what he
really?
says
'Cause
now.
I feared for my life. Like, I was praying and everything. Like,
You probably
God
had
keep him away from me.
You had a solid month. He was probably mad for a solid
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then got over it.
Yeah, it was funny, but I was
Wow.
terrified. I was like, I don't want this dude. One punch and I'm out. I'm done.
Wow. You sure did tell
So you got to
them.
be careful with what you tell people.
Yeah, because
You
they
never know who's
always
gonna react.
you don't know the reaction. You know, I don't know. I've never been in a situation, so I don't know what I would do. But I always
No.
think that if it's I think it also depends on which friend it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can all still be good friends, but certain friends you're able to, you know, deliver that sort of bad news.
Wes would come to me in a heartbeat. I can see it.
I can see that
it.
too.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, so what's up? And it depends too on what my relationship is with the significant other. You know, because if he or she and I, in this case, let's say it's my girlfriend's husband, fiance, whoever, if he and I were pretty friendly, I would sure walk up to him and be like, hey,
What's going on?
what's up? I really would ask
Yeah.
him. But then if we're just casual or in passing or, you know, maybe I only know him from Facebook.
What if they're married?
I want to know.
I feel
If you
like
see Babe out in here in the streets with somebody, come tell me.
I'm
Really?
stepping a babe.
Really?
I'm stepping a babe.
Right,
Really?
because I would
But-
expect
He
you,
would never.
like, in this situation, I would expect you to say something to
Yeah.
him, you know? Like,
Oh, I would immediately.
Yeah.
I'm addressing everybody.
Word.
And you are.
But
I'm his wife's best friend. Nice to meet you. His wife. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is.
so Melissa's ride or die.
Absolutely.
She's
yeah,
that-
yeah.
Absolutely.
No,
Definitely.
definitely.
I like to think I am. I don't know that
Me
I am.
too.
I mean, I'm not putting sugar in your tank. I'm not getting arrested. But
The-
Oh no, I'm not doing any of that either.
Yeah.
I like to think that I'm down for my friends, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and
You'll
if
do
I'm
a
not friends,
drive-by.
please tell me. Oh, no, I'm not driving by.
No?
But I'll help you
I do
search
a
on
drive-by.
Facebook. I'll do some research.
I've done so many
Yeah.
drive-bys in my day, my younger days.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do some research. I'll do some background checks.
That's how
but
you find out. That was before we had Facebook investigations.
That's what it was, huh?
Facebook investigations is the drive-by of today.
I'm a
That's
good
true.
Facebook investigator. Click the like button, see how many people have liked it, who liked it. Click on that page to follow the trail.
Oh, chopping some dimes on us.
I have to really care to do that. I haven't really cared in so long.
some
Well,
catfish.
yeah, it depends on what we're looking for, you know.
I
But
don't care.
Yeah,
you know, but
I
generally,
care.
I like to think I'm a good friend, or at least I try to be.
you are.
Right.
You are.
Because
a
I
good
want,
friend.
because
You're very
I want you to
encouraging.
be that friend to me as well, you know.
Mhm.
So,
I remember that day when you were encouraging Melissa and telling her how dope
isn't
she
it every
is
day?
and how
Oh
she's
yes,
a catch.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, everybody needs a
She
friend
put the
like
battery in my
you.
pack.
Oh.
I came back to life real
Because
quick.
Melissa was
Oh,
feeling a
thanks,
little
girl.
down,
I
and
was
she was
down.
like, Weslyn
I was
was just
down.
rattling things off,
I was
like,
down.
you know, you have a good
There's
job.
another dude down,
you got
right?
A car,
Yeah.
You got a nice
Another
place.
dude down. I was down in the
That's when I
dumps.
said to
You know?
stop giving them your
You
goodies so
cook,
early.
exactly.
You're right. You're right.
Mhm.
And
You
not
got a lot
just
to
those
offer.
goodies, but like
I know
all
what
of
you
these.
mean. I know what you mean. Thanks, girl.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Aw,
I
so
try.
sweet.
I'm not gonna call you basic, but I try.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was the best story.
She called someone basic.
I did not call her basic.
called
She
her basic.
basically did.
She did in a roundabout way.
That
In a
was not
roundabout
my
way.
intention. I simply said
But
what
it happened.
separated you from somebody else.
It was so funny because the girl came to me and was like, Wesley called me basic. I said, well, that wasn't very nice.
And like nowadays,
nothing to
that's
say. I
like the
don't-
biggest like.
It
It was the
Insult.
funniest thing
somebody,
ever.
Listen, this is what happened.
I was hoping you were gonna tell this story.
So she generally came to me for a lot of things, right? And I'm pretty good about listening. I listen.
I don't know how you did it.
I listen, and I liked her. I liked her personality and stuff.
Yeah.
So she had aspirations of doing nothing. She was gonna quit her job. She was gonna quit her job to go do something that is less than stellar. You know, be a bottle girl somewhere. You know, and I basically asked her, what separated you from the next person? Why do you think that anybody's gonna want you? So she said, she got insulted and said I called her basic.
Basically.
She did.
Well,
I was just keeping it real, like, because if you're gonna come to me with nonsense,
you call her generic and no frills.
She
All
did
in one
though.
shot.
She did. She did.
All in one
She
No
shot.
frills.
Damn.
she's government cheese.
What?
She's
She's the
government
old government cheese. She's the one that's at the
shit.
back of the truck.
Oh my god.
Y'all ain't
No
shit.
frills. That reminds me of the old
Government cheese.
Pathmark brand. The white label with the blue line.
That's what she called her. What differentiates you from all the other white boxes with the blue lines on them?
You should just. She came to my desk after, and I didn't even know what to do with myself. I was just like, she said that.
And you
Aw.
thought
That
the
wasn't
same.
nice.
But that was not my intention. But I'm saying though, if you're gonna tell me you're gonna quit your good up job to go be a bottle girl, what separates you from the next bottle girl?
That's true. That's
I mean, like, what else? How did you want me to sugarcoat that? Like, really? You're come to me with real life issues.
I'm the worst because
Exactly.
I encouraged it. I said, go be a bottle girl.
Be that best bottle
You
girl you
go.
can be.
Take that ass to Miami.
That's it.
Sell that fucking bottle.
Get them implants,
can't.
girl. Go for it.
She
I
was
can't
young. She was a
deal-
mess.
I
It's
can't
funny.
deal with the shallowness of it all.
This is funny.
It's shallow, and maybe that's what it was. And you're right. That's what it was. I was just like, really? This is what
This
you
is
call?
what you're
So-
worried about.
Did she turn out to be a good bottle girl?
She ain't nowhere.
She ain't nowhere. Yeah.
Didn't work out, huh?
No, but so she was very offended. You know, I mean, we were still friends. And the thing is, she never told me.
Y'all look cool. Stop saying friends loosely.
Well, you're right. You're right. But you know what though? I would still call her a friend of mine. She's a friend of mine. You know,
I
are
don't
we
think so.
friends in the sense that I see her
An
every day?
associate?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, so what qualifies someone as a friend
She's an
versus an
associate.
associate?
I think associates are people who I haven't shared much with. And at least from my definition, we've shared, you know, so you know about me, I know about you. We're more than just this level. We've certainly elevated a little bit. So are we the bestest of friends? No. But are we just basic associates? No. You know, I think that we've definitely gone beyond what someone an associate to me might be someone I graduated high school with, where we don't see each other, or we probably might like a picture on Facebook. Again, I'm not friends with people on Facebook from high school either. You know,
Really?
they're probably like, because if I didn't communicate with you, then we're not gonna be friends on Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
I might have 5 friends from high school on Facebook. But I think that as long as we've shared, she knows about me, I know about her family, she knows about mine, I know about... That to me is you've reached some sort of elevation, you know? We're not at the mountaintop, but we're not down in the valleys.
All right, Martin Luther King. So wait, is an acquaintance the same thing as an associate, or is an acquaintance like
is
lower
even
than an
lower
associate?
down the level.
There's so many levels to this.
But I think everyone's friendship definition is different. I think it has to be, because we're humans, you know?
Right.
I don't think that we can use the same, because what you consider a friend and what you consider a friend, you might say that's my best friend, and I might say, well, that's just my good friend, you know? So I think everyone has a different level. But what we all can agree on is that a bad friend is a bad friend, and
Word.
a toxic friend is a toxic friend, you know? So
Run away.
will she and I continue to be friends?
No.
Maybe no.
It's not
You're
gonna
right.
happen.
It's
No.
not.
It's
But
It's
you're
not gonna
right.
happen because that's not a friend.
That's
That's
it.
that's an associate.
Yeah.
But you're right.
That's right.
He's gonna run his course quicker than.
But I think
yeah.
that you can go from friendship to associates. You can make that transition.
Like
you
a
know?
downgrade.
Yeah.
Demotion.
It's the same. It's similar to you talking about outgrowing. You know, that girl that
Yeah.
emailed you and you're saying you're
Yeah,
outgrowing. Sometimes you do, and a lot of times you do. You know, I think though, for every one friend you lose, you tend to add another, based on where you are in your life.
I totally agree with that, because with the friendship that I told you guys about, that's exactly what happened. I gained more friends from, losing that one friend. So I'm
Sometimes
grateful
you just
for it.
you kind of shake the weeds, and one comes out and some more comes in. I think depending on where you are in life too, your friends come from different sources. Going forward, your friends might come from your daughter's friends' parents. It just really depends on where you're going.
I've evolved. Like I used to only be able to be friends with like one person at a time, and I think it's because I was too emotionally involved in like my friends' lives, and I had to learn how to like pull away. I think you were talking about it before.
I didn't know how you just had one friend. It really baffled me.
Because I
didn't
was too
understand it.
absorbed in her life.
The same friends
Oh,
that
she
you
only
got
got
rid
time
of?
for hubby and the one friend. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's how it was.
Gosh,
I'm better now.
Oh.
my friends are all over the place.
Yeah.
But you know what? I find it's hard for me to add friends because I feel like I'm happy with the friends I have. I'm perfectly
no new friends.
No, I add new ones, but I feel like I have such great old friends and we're
That's good.
good friends.
That's great.
That over the years we've still kept in touch. Not even just keeping in touch, we're still friends. But adding and making space for a new person is. I don't mind if I never add another friend because I'm so happy with the ones I have.
I want to add more
beautiful.
friends. I like adding people as I grow and as I evolve. Someone that's just maybe a step ahead of me or on the same wavelength that I'm at.
Yeah,
Like
I want to do that too.
I love
want that too.
I love that.
You have
But then
like
do you
50
get
million
rid
friends.
of the old friends?
Nah, but
But
Yeah, I
you don't
definitely want new friends too. I need to broaden my horizons.
It'll come.
I need some vegan friends. I mean, y'all are cool, but
There's only 5
You do.
y'all.
I mean, you gotta have someone that
Yeah.
matches your
There's
lifestyle.
only 5 y'all in existence.
We were gonna go to this cool vegan dinner party.
I'm so sad
tomorrow,
it's canceled.
and it got canceled.
Yeah,
And
that
the other
sounded like it
four
was
didn't
gonna be
show up.
fun. The other four didn't show up.
You're so
You know
annoying.
what?
That's probably factual, but you're annoying to say it.
But
Okay?
you know what?
Okay.
It was only an event for like 15 people, so you're right.
You see?
Oh wow!
We were probably the only two, maybe
Yeah,
one
that's
other
It was
person.
real
Like-
intimate.
Not enough people.
They could have let us come chill anyway. Damn.
I was looking forward to that, but
Me
you know,
too.
I was looking forward to hearing about it. It sounded nice.
Yeah. Oh well.
Good networking experience too.
yeah, but
Well, I think we have covered it all. Well, not all, but
it's a
enough.
broad topic.
yeah,
It's a broad topic.
Covered a lot of it.
we definitely did.
I'm glad I've met you guys and added you to my friends list.
Me too.
About time you
Weslyn.
acknowledge that. Back at you, babe.
Well,
She told me I love you the other day, and I didn't say it back.
She
And she was like,
did.
"Say it back."
oh, she be demanding that
Yeah.
love.
You motherfucking right. If I waste my breath saying that, you better say it
that's
back.
That's a
Say it
But
powerful.
it wasn't that I wasn't gonna say it back.
She was taking her sweet time saying it. That's what it was.
There's some people who can't do it though. Like our good
Yeah.
friend Jennifer, she won't say it. Like, but I know she loves us. I told her, I was like, I know you love me. She's like, absolutely.
I think some
I
people are
take
just
that.
more expressive.
Yeah,
Melissa's
I take
very
it.
expressive.
Clearly.
Yes, yes.
Clearly.
You feel the love for sure.
Yes.
I love you, girl.
Oh.
Love you, girl. All right, enough of this stuff. Should I say that?
Affirmation time.
All right. It's a long one
Because
today.
I got yelled at last episode.
Mm.
Why?
Because I didn't tell you it was affirmation time.
Oh.
I was like, what do you think?
Forgot about that. You know my
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the goldfish. You keep
What?
feeding them, they don't remember they ate. You didn't know that?
The stuff that he comes out
I
with.
knew that.
I didn't know that at
I
I
all.
knew
knew that.
She and
They
you
don't have
guys are
memory.
like similar with the random
I was like, why are we talking about goldfish?
the random
What?
information
forgot
that y'all
already?
come up with. Y'all can talk after the
Random
podcast.
bits.
You right. I hate you so much.
What did he say?
She
He
forgot
said-
already.
He said you forgot already. I was like, yeah, I did. I did.
You know what? Dory. That's it.
What's Dory? What?
That's gonna be your name.
That's what I'm going to
Finding
call you from
Nemo.
now on, Dory.
Why?
Dory wasn't a goldfish.
She wasn't, but
What
she
is
forgot everything that
Dory?
they ever told her.
Finding Dory, the fish.
Finding Nemo.
Finding
Here's
Nemo.
another one.
Oh.
And that's your co-friend
I know
right there.
Finding Nemo. I hate you. Anyway,
Go ahead, Dory.
shut up. You're not gonna call me Dory. Stupid.
Tori and Gib. She's got so many nicknames.
That's fucked up. Should have never told y'all nothing.
Oh, man.
We good now?
Yes,
All
we
right.
are.
Okay.
Dory.
Stop.
Okay, fine, Gib.
Stop. Stop. Anyway,
Face hurts.
affirmation for the week. I hate all of you. Everyone I meet today is warm and friendly. I'm good enough as I am to be loved as a good friend. I'm free to express my true self in the presence of my friends. All of my friendships are enjoyable and positive. I love who I am and attract others who love me too.
That sounds like in a perfect world, that's the way friendships should be.
Yeah.
And I think that summed up all the things we talked about today.
Yep. Everything that's important to us in a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Weslyn,
Thanks
thank you
for
so
having
much
me.
for being here. We had a great
Yay.
conversation as always.
Hope I didn't bore you too much.
No, not at all. You always have a great opinion about things, so we're glad
Yeah,
you
I'm
were here
always
to share it with
opinionated.
us.
Am I lying?
Facts.
Always got something to say.
No, it was beautiful. But thanks again for watching, everyone. Please like, subscribe. We're trying to get on the new and noteworthy list on iTunes. So if you watch us on this podcast on YouTube, please make sure to go to Apple if you have Apple and subscribe to the podcast. So thank you so much again for watching or listening, and we'll see you again next time on the Common Women Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.